Welcome to Built to Work, the podcast that gets its hands dirty, dives into the grit, and uncovers the heart of what makes the blue-collar world tick. I'm Colin, your host, and I'm sitting down with the people who keep our world running. From those tackling the tough jobs no one else dares to do, to the HR professionals working overtime to find the labor force we desperately need. Whether you're in the trenches or behind the scenes, this podcast is for anyone who values hard work, determination, and stories that build the backbone of our workforce. So grab your gloves, your coffee, or your clipboard. It's time to get to work. Welcome to another Built to Work podcast. I am here today with the one and only Debbie Petrak from Lever1. Thank you so much, Debbie, for joining me.
I'm excited to be here with you.
We have worked with you now for, I believe, we think it's 4 years.
Yep.
We brought you in on our previous company because Lever1 provides awesome services, outsourced HR, benefits, payroll, PEO stuff. So I want you to tell us about what Lever1 does. So give me the update on Lever1, what you guys do so everybody else can know, and then tell me what you do for Lever1.
Okay, so Lever1 is a PEO, a professional employer organization. And what that is a partnership between a company and us to be able to have outsourcing of HR, employee benefits, workers' compensation for some, and payroll administration. So that's kind of like an overview of what we do.
Okay, that's great. And what do you do?
So I'm an account executive.
Okay.
I'm on the business development team, so I get to work with company owners, C-level executives to come in and see if they are a fit for a partnership with Lever1. So really seeing what companies need and what they're looking for or what they don't even realize they need until you bring that into queue and really help them to see if they want to move forward with services with us and make them custom fit for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And I can tell you from personal experience, what I needed that I didn't know I needed was something that you guys provided on our last company. So we provide, we both provide outsourced services, which I'm a big proponent of because of the benefits that it provides to the companies, right? It allows you to focus on your core competency. So we out-focus, labor and other industrial services within certain industries, and then you outsource all of that back office stuff.
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff. And it just goes in this bucket of stuff that I have no idea about. So what outsourcing allows somebody to do is to really focus on their core competencies. So for somebody that's making a product, if they outsource labor, then they're able to focus on making their product. If somebody is running a business and they want to focus on that, but they've got all this HR back office stuff, they don't want to deal with that, then they bring in Lever1.
Right.
Okay. So Lever1, somebody calls you up and says, hey, my HR person is just not cutting it, or they just quit, or my company is growing and I have no idea what to do with HR. What steps do you take once that call happens?
It's truly conversation and asking questions, what their experience. And so let's say if they're losing an HR person internally, what role do they handle within HR? Do they do all the onboarding? Do they help with employee benefits, offboarding, issues with employees, things like that? What all do they handle? So what are they losing on that? What's their turnover like? There's so much things you're looking really truly to uncover and to see what they need assistance with and then custom fit it to that piece of it. So it's a lot of questioning and asking, but also a lot of listening to find out what they truly need and what hiccups they've had, whether it's not just to look at what they need now, but what do they look at doing in the future? Where's their growth going? Are they looking to hire and expand more? Different things like that. So just a lot of discovery pieces to find out what niches they need.
Okay, yeah. So one nice thing about having an outsourced partner is their whole world focuses on whatever that area is, and you have a team supporting you. So I previously spoke with my accounting team. I spoke with one person on that team, and they handle everything for us. So in my previous company, we had one person handling a lot of like the accounting stuff, kind of two, but one person handling all the invoicing. But that that really didn't work for us, right? We were starting to have a lot of issues and misses, and they just couldn't keep up, right? So we went and hired an expert in accounting and real estate, right? It's a niche industry, okay? Now in our current company, we've hired just a general accounting firm because it's more general accounting, and they handle all that. The really nice thing for us is instead of having to have one person in-house, maybe two to handle the accounting for a similar cost, maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less, depends on how you price stuff.
Right.
We have a whole team at our disposal, right? So if you've got one person in-house and they're sick, they quit, they have a baby, and they're on maternity leave, who knows what?
Right.
They've got somebody on that other team that can step in and you don't miss a beat. Tell us about how that works within Lever1.
Yes. So true. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's having that village to be able to help you. One thing that we really do is create a distribution email so that everybody in our team is included in conversation. So we don't have to go, wait, I didn't know that happened with Colin and Adam. What do we need to do to fix this? Everybody knows what's going on at every step of the time, and you have experts in each area, whether it be compliance or HR, that you know somebody's here to handle any needs you have.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. So there's that scale factor where not only are you outsourcing a portion of your business, but then within even that category, you guys have, or other outsourced companies will have little tiny niche experts, right? So writing an employee handbook, HR compliance, taxes across all these states.
Right.
And I really appreciate having that, because when it comes to writing the employee handbook, I am not the best at those annoying little details.
Yeah.
And that's something where in employee handbooks, I don't even know, 20, 30, 40 pages long. They can be huge, right? And you're covering all your policies and everything like that. And
depends how many states you're in and what you're operating. Yes.
Yeah. So you really need to understand the details of that to get it right, and then have a team to pay attention to those details. Lever1 is a pretty big company. So again, how many employees does Lever1 have on its team?
We're right around 40
Okay.
employees.
Okay, that's great. And then how many employees are under your PEO umbrella?
We have, worksite employees, we're over 5,000 worksite employees.
That's a lot of employees.
It is a lot.
That's a lot of payroll to manage
And
on a
within
weekly
50
basis.
states.
Okay.
So it's not just, right here in Kansas City. It's, you have a lot of different compliance issues and different policies based on each state. I mean, there's so much that goes.
Yeah. I'm sure you get into some nightmare states. I mean, we always are like, I'm sure being here in the Midwest, things are generally pretty easy compliance-wise, but I'm sure it's like, Illinois or New York or California or some of those high regulatory states, it's just a nightmare to work in those.
Yes, and I'm glad I'm not on the compliance or HR team. I just help you come in, and then we all take care of you.
You'd be pulling your hair out if you were working on that team. Yeah, absolutely, I understand. So that's awesome. So 5,000 people. So one of the benefits of a partner that has scale is you can get scale pricing. Right. Now we experienced that when we went and priced health insurance and stuff like that outside of the PEO, because that's something that you guys provide for us. So that scale then allows you to go to a health insurance company and say, I have 5,000 employees. Give us a better price.
Right. And as you know, with your first company that I worked with you on, the savings, like when I came in, I was smiling so much how much we were saving you on benefits. And I was like, I know I'm supposed to wait for Cheryl to get in on here, but I have to tell you, because I'm so excited. I want to be the one that delivers this great news.
Yeah.
And that's what's so fun. And it's not even for companies that are 150 employees or 200 employees. It's for companies that might have 10 employees. Because we have the buying power to have so many worksite employees that we're giving benefits for. Yeah. So it's really a savings.
You said I remember that. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot. I remember you guys saved us a lot of money, and I was so very thankful for that. So that was a huge benefit, huge war story for us. A good war story and a win for us then. So as you've gone through, I'm sure that you hear all sorts of aid. Now, you're not directly on the HR side. I understand that. Have you ever had any without giving away too many details, any
Right.
really good, interesting HR things where you just kind of like shake your head and like, why did somebody do that?
Yeah, you know, the nice thing is I did probation before, so nothing
Okay.
surprises me in the 80s and 90s. So sadly, nothing surprises me, but it still makes your jaw drop to the ground when you're like, really, this happens? But, you know, we've seen people that prior companies that now are our clients, you know, had been with, that have had situations where they've had their entire salary for their entire team leaked to people that shouldn't have had it, and that they had access to it. I've seen, you know, fires happen with employees in situations on work sites, and, you know, it's sad to see it, but it's one of those things. People think they don't need HR because they're working in a tight family. You know, we know everybody, but we've seen situations where they've had employees that have ended up not being a faithful and dedicated person is what they were transpiring to be, where HR's had to come in and done situations to clean house and to make things right.
Yes.
So, you know, you never know you have a fire, but when you have a fire, you need somebody to put it out fast. So you just never know when things like that can happen. But yeah, anything and everything goes, unfortunately, but we have a great team of HR executives that will come in and make things right.
Yes. Yeah.
On all aspects. So
your team's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about it.
I agree.
Yeah. So, you know, you're going to come in, you're going to help fix or maintain, generally fix and improve those back office operations. It's great, right? It's on the payroll side, it's on benefits, it's on health insurance, 401k, all that sort of stuff. Everything. Employee handbooks. Big lifts there. You guys like to do things the right way. Compliance is like the biggest part of your job generally.
100%.
Yeah. So what is a time where maybe a customer wasn't a good fit for you guys?
We have had situations like that where, you know, it's true partnership. So if it doesn't work for one side of the partner or the other, then we won't move forward. But we've had situations where we've had somebody that didn't want to pay taxes on gratuities for their employees and didn't think that was necessary. But it's compliance, and we chose not to move forward because we have to be compliant because it's the law, first of all.
Yes.
But that's what we're here for. We're an HR company that helps people to keep in the right line and to be compliant. So if we're not being compliant, that's not okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
So really, you got to just play by the rules.
Right.
Yeah. I can
Funny
really
little
appreciate
thing.
Yeah, funny thing about that is you need to play by the rules. Right. So compliance is huge. Got to do things right. I'm glad that we haven't had any of those compliance issues. But one that I keep hearing about is people paying cash to employees. Tell me about that, because to me that seems like it's not legal. I'm sure there may be some realm where it's legal, but I don't know because I've never done that.
No.
No?
Yeah, or people that we've had, people say, well, I'll just Venmo them. Well, we've got to be able to document, keep track of everything, you know. So there's rules and regulations for a reason, and so it's really setting everything up within the system. So I'm sure there's some things that we could do, and again, this is the payroll piece of it that would have to handle it. That if something was sent because of an error, then we would just credit it back through the payroll system to make it correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, but generally speaking, an envelope full of cash for a week's worth of work is not super compliant.
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. You know, I mean, listen, I want to vet all options just to make sure, but make sure we want to do things right here. So
you're like, I don't do that, by the way.
We don't. We hear about it in our industry, and it's
yes.
like I'm pretty sure that's illegal, because then if you're paying cash, you're not reporting all your wages
for
taxes,
for workers' compensation,
or your work comp insurance, especially because then if they go and audit that, they're like, well, I don't see this guy on your payroll, so you're screwed.
Yeah, we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's and make sure it's all proper.
Yes, absolutely right. So obviously we're big proponents of outsourcing, right? Because we see the benefits that how a company that focuses on a niche can then allow for another company to focus on their core competency or on their niche, right?
Right.
So companies manufacturing a widget they're really good at making the product, but their HR suffers, they bring you guys in, right? We have a customer that's really good at doing some industrial process, but labor turnover is an issue. They bring us, or they need a specialty torch, or they need some of the other services we offer. So they bring us in. So we're proponents and advocates for outsourcing because we see the benefits of that. For companies that then outsource your service, what is the biggest benefit that you see to them? Like they see from utilizing your service?
Their growth of their business.
Okay.
I mean, that's the biggest thing because they can truly focus on it and know everything else is being handled by us.
Yes.
And they have that communication. They can see it, but they also feel it because they know we have it handled.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the biggest thing.
And
that's what we want to see.
Yeah. Because everybody wins. That company wins, you guys win, everybody wins. So, so sum it up, what Debbie, in her very professional opinion, has to say is that outsourcing allows a company to then focus on growth.
Exactly. It's their core business.
Yeah.
It's what they do and what they do best.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. You know, we've been looking at and doing some, heavy industrial, cleaning, janitorial stuff where that is way outside the product that our customer is delivering. This is just something else that has to get done.
Right.
So yeah, it's great, right? I mean, even us in our office, right? We don't clean our own office. We hire a cleaning company.
Right.
They're experts at that. That's what they do. They're fast. They're efficient. They do a better job than we would do.
Right. Exactly.
Right? We don't clean offices. Like Adam and I at least don't. So
yeah.
we office separate out here, away from most of the other team. So yeah, it's just the two of us. We don't need a full-time cleaning staff in our small office. So no, that's so true. So I appreciate that. Lever1 has truly been a blessing to us over multiple companies, and I'm so thankful for that. And I very much appreciate your time telling me about your company and about outsourcing. And if you guys want a great PEO, somebody to take that back office work off your hands, reach out to Debbie, reach out to Lever1. They're rock stars.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have the convo.
Yes.